Unsigned518. I am here with Dew Point. How's it going, guys?
How are we doing?
And what we're going to do is we're going to start over here to my left and just introduce yourself and what you do in the band.
Hi, I'm Max Munzert. I play guitar, among a few other things, but that's pretty much it.
Hello, my name is Makai McClinton. I am a singer at Dew Point.
Hi, I'm Alex Warner. I'm kind of the photographer, and I just help out, recording, bouncing ideas.
I'm Dylan Bruce. I play piano, and I'm like the main guy of Dew Point. This is my collaborative project, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I guess we want to just, I was saying before we got going, like I have no plan. This isn't an interview. It's just a conversation. But I guess just tell me, whoever wants to start, I guess if you want to start the conversation, like how did Dew Point get going? And tell me the story. What's going on?
Yeah, so I've always been into music since I was in like elementary school, and I brought that to middle school. I started a band that never got together with two of my friends in middle school, but that never worked out. We never had an actual like jam sesh. But then I got to high school and I started playing more and more and wanted to take it more seriously, wanted to pursue it. And I just had a couple people I was jamming with, and now in college here I met a couple of other people like Max. I met because I had written this song previous year or 2 previous years ago. And I was just figuring out like who's gonna play on it, and my buddy Makai, I performed a lot with him in high school. We've done a lot of shows together. So I was like, you know what, Makai, we'll definitely collab on this song. I had a couple of lyrics written for him that I wanted him to sing, and then Alex, we'll definitely touch on that later. But Alex is a real key point of this song, just because of the actual visuals of it. He did a lot of effort on that. I mean, that's more on the song, but like the actual band, I would call it more of a collaborative project. It's not really a band. I know like the Instagram's dewpoint.band, but it's really kind of my project along with people who want to work with me and people who want to, I mean, that's pretty much it. Just people who want to work and play music, and I like writing lyrics and writing chord progression, so that's kind of my thing. And then I have other musicians who are very talented come on, and they help me out with all the other complicated stuff.
So
yeah.
I mean, basically you lay down the roots of the song, the chords and the lyrics, and then it's intended to be a revolving door perhaps of musicians that come in, or is this like the core group and there'll be other people that join in?
Yeah, like this past song, we had another drummer from school come on the song, which that helped out a lot because I didn't know who was going to play drums. I didn't know who was going to play lead guitar in the song, so I was just fine. I had some parts written, but then I found Max, and I was like, you know what? That's real good. He's a real good guitar player. I was like, he's got to be on this song. And
so, do you guys all go to college together? Is that?
Me and Max do, but Makai and Alex you don't. But they can definitely touch on that if you want to.
Yeah, sure. So, I guess my involvement with Dew Point really started, I would say, in our senior year of high school. We had our college composition class together, me and Dylan, and instead of writing our college essays, we were talking about the song. And I was really getting into photography at that point, and so he was like, well, I need an album cover. I was like, oh, well, we should work on that. And then I guess from that point on, it's like every time he had an idea, he'd text me, and we'd bounce ideas off each other, and I guess we have this like kind of creative partnership, I guess, that we've kind of like developed from that point. We don't all go to the same school. I go to a different college for cybersecurity. Funny enough, it's not even music related, but
most of it, like my day job, like you may be surprised to notice, I have a fucking day job that has absolutely nothing to do with music.
Right.
Like, right. A lot of people are surprised. They're like, so yeah, we all have our pay the bills thing.
Yeah, exactly.
and then our, this is fun things.
Right. But I like being creative in my free time, and so that's what I do with these guys, I guess.
And so, you contribute to the band, not necessarily musically, but in like artistic direction, or is there?
It's a mixture of everything, actually. So when we were recording the song, I spent a lot of time in the studio with Dylan and Max. I wrote some of the harmonies that were on the song. I did a lot of the recording. I helped Dylan out with some vocal stuff. So I was also contributing musically because I do music for fun. So I have experience in it as well. But I'm just kind of always helping out,
Right. Wherever it's needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit, it's my turn. I remember, I think it was like freshman, sophomore year, the first time he came to me. Dylan came up to me, I think it was lunch. And he was putting this song together for the talent show. And he came up to me, he's like, hey, I'm gonna do, it was Amsterdam, right?
Yeah, it was Amsterdam by Coldplay. I needed a singer who could sing just real good in the chorus. We can go like back and forth. I thought, Makai is like, I've seen him in the past, like even in middle school.
Oh
like
my
he performed
God.
Viva La Vida by Coldplay. And
That was like,
I remember that. It was just so good. He was just such a talented vocalist. So I just wanted to collaborate with him.
I love talking about it because like first it was Viva La Vida, best song of all time, only to be followed up with Feliz Navidad. It was the funniest shit. It was the funniest shit. The second best song of all time. Exactly. Forget every other artist. Viva La Vida, Feliz Navidad, best song. But yeah. But in the midst of that, I also started doing theater. So it was theater on top of singing with Dylan on like in talent shows, working on songs like On Hold.
And so like theater, I mean, obviously a lot of theater has a singing component, but more than anything, it's that performance, I think, that would help, because again, a lot of musicians started out as I was like theater adjacent. Like I wasn't like cool enough to be a theater kid,
that's
but like
that's how it was before.
But
I
like
got to high school.
I was cool enough to like run the snack carts at the high school productions and shit. No, but like because getting in front of people is different than just making music. Like making music in your bedroom is one thing, but when you have to take that and then put it in front of a bunch of fucking strangers,
Oh my God.
That's a totally different thing. So I think theater is a really good way to cut your teeth, even if it's not necessarily musical theater. But was it musical theater?
It was musical theater,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Even better.
Even like these two can absolutely agree that like I feel like a lot of my growth is because of musical theater. And even now, my mom asks me like, "Oh, how do you sing in front of all these people?"
Because of theater.
I look her in the eyes. I say, "I have no fucking idea. I have no fucking idea."
Yeah.
It's funny because I did theater as well. I wasn't on stage. I was the lighting guy at school. Oh yeah, I should probably hold my phone. I was the lighting guy at school. But I remember like through the couple of years that I helped out and was involved, Makai, I watched him kind of grow as a performer and really come out of his shell. Our senior year we did Rent, and that show was insane. Like that was by far one of the most, like you moved the entire audience. But that was like you shined on that stage. That's where you really, I think, found yourself from my point of view as a performer.
And I think a lot of, because high school like band and high school theater like doesn't get enough credit for what it does to people later on down the road. You know what I mean? Because just having in not even just performing in front of people, but like learning the fundamentals of music, even if it's on clarinet. You're like, oh, I played the clarinet and I gave it up in 6th grade. You still learned music fundamentals from it. Exactly. So when you pick up the guitar later on down the road, like there is going to be that connection. So
I wish I could say that because from 5 years old, I played drums for a good chunk of my life.
That was my first instrument too, but it was because I was the chubby asthma kid. And
Oh my God.
I wanted
Same.
to play fucking saxophone because, like, the saxophone was cool and shit like that, and I
All
couldn't.
the chicks.
Yeah, and I couldn't because I couldn't fucking breathe.
For me, it was my sister's like violin. I always wanted to play it, but it's like I didn't even know how to start. I didn't even know how to hold it.
Yeah.
Like the first thing she told me is like the way you hold it with your right hand. You hold the neck with your right hand and you put it under your chin. I'm like 5-year-old me hearing this. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. But then once I reached 5, I started doing drumming lessons at Music Traders. I still remember. I'm very confident considering I gave up at like 10, 11 years old. 11 years old.
Still got, still got it. And even if you're not a drummer now and you're a singer, guarantee you, shit that you learned in those drum lessons can be used now, like as a vocalist.
Early days of
That is
practicing instruments.
that is debatable because I can't read sheet music worth a damn. I can't read it. I can't read it. I can keep a
Those are
beat.
hard.
I can keep a beat. I can name like 4x4.
Oh, like sheet
3x3.
music with drums?
No, just sheet music
Oh.
in general.
Oh, because I was gonna say I can
Can't
read sheet
read it.
music with drums to save my life.
Like-
And like that blows my
Right.
mind to see people that are like, oh, what are we playing? Put out the music and just play it. I'm like,
And I was like, if you play this song for me, I'll be able to keep the beat or something similar to that. If you put sheet music in front of me and say, here, play this, even if it's
I could
drums,
if you
I
like
will.
stripped it down. You know, like if you
Yeah.
were doing like acoustic guitar and it was like, here's the chords. Like if it was a song that I knew, you could just throw the chords at me and
Exactly,
I could read and no
exactly.
problem. Or like
Easy.
tablature or something. But sheet music, I know,
Yeah, no.
might be a little,
No.
especially like with a keyed instrument like piano. I feel like the world slows down when I get in front of a piano. I'm like, okay, it's A B C. You know, I'm like, fuck.
The only song I know how to play on the piano is "Mary Had a Little Lamb." It's just me just remembering. How do I make it different? I think I'll play this assortment of Black Keys next.
Yeah, I have my moments. Like I've got a keyboard right there, and I've got a keyboard over there, and like I have my moments where I'm like, I'm learning now. I'm learning how to play the piano.
gotta get on
I'm fucking doing it, and then I'll be like, nope, this is very hard. Like,
Exactly.
Like, I'm gonna stop now. Like,
No, I think it's really important to reflect on like early days of music because I kind of just like forget my whole story sometimes and why I'm like into it. Like I know the reasons and the things that have driven me to want to pursue it, but there's so much time now and like every single year is adding more time. So now, I mean, in college I was studying like classical piano and early contemporary stuff and romantic era stuff. And like Max knows, he saw that. Did you see that performance?
Yeah, I did. I watched that.
Yeah, no, that was a funny piece, but what am I trying to say here? Playing piano in college is like such a different feeling because I feel like it's so much more pressure on you because it's just you and the piano. It's such an intimate moment.
and you're also like, college is a pressure cooker anyway.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. Like
You know what I
anything
mean?
you do has that air of stress and confusion and what the fuck is going on.
Like,
and
you're gonna miss
you
a
know,
note.
Like
It-
and I'm saying this is, I'm probably old enough to be your grandfathers and shit. Honestly, I probably, 52. Like I probably am, close enough to like, but I still remember that out of high school feeling of just being like, what the fuck is going on? At any point, I'm like, I have no idea anything that's going on. Like,
And my teacher would put sheet music in front of me. I don't really have a history of like being classically trained, so it was just kind of, I got through it, of course. I just took the time to really dive into it. But that, I mean, I'm into rock music, like I'm not trying to pursue, but like either way, like
it's
I
the
like
base of it,
learning.
like, dude. I mean, I don't know if you know who Iron Maiden is.
Oh, of
like,
course, yeah.
Like all of their shit is classical based. Fucking all of it. Like it's if you
Randy
played,
Rhodes.
yeah,
That's also-
Randy
that's
Rhodes.
also
if you
true.
played any fucking Randy Rhodes shit on a piano, refined people be like, that's a wonderful piece, But like you play it, put it on a fucking electric guitar with long hair, and everybody's like, the devil's
ton of
music.
distortion.
It's like, yeah, totally. But it's all based in that classical music, and like the band Korn. I was just, do you know who Rick Beato is?
Yeah.
So I was watching a Rick Beato video, and he like basically dissects songs. He's like this brilliant musician. He'll like,
I'm not native in the rock world.
yeah, well, he'll do with any like not any
Yeah,
genre.
he's
like,
a YouTuber.
yeah,
okay.
but he'll like just dissect the song and be like, "This happened here," and he was just doing a thing on that song. I can't remember but it was a Korn song, and he was like, "It's all based in classical," and he's like the dissonance of the nine and the diminished this and this, and he's like, "It's 100% classical music."
Yeah, theory.
Yeah.
Theory is really important.
It really is.
Just like when writing this song, theory really came in handy because I found out like all the like cool things. This is like a simple chord progression, but just theory helped me kind of put it on a piano because most of it was written on piano.
Oh, nice.
So that helped me a lot, and being in theory while writing the song really helped me. So
Yeah, rather than just like hearing something and be like, oh, that sounds good. Now we know why.
Now we know why it sounds good. The science of why
And it
sounds
like
good.
will help you, like the more you work within a theory, to be like, I'm going to work within this theory, like you just get to know more and more, and then you can start fucking with different, be like, what if I took a little bit of this and a little bit of this and then create something new? And but it's all based in theory, because if it's not within like the proper theory of music, it's going to sound like shit.
I mean, the
that's
thing
just
is though, like with knowing theory, now we can like make stuff sound like shit way better.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
You
a
can
real
intentionally
good
make
point.
it sound
Yeah.
like shit.
You want to make it sound like shit that people will listen to.
Right.
It's not even just making stuff that sounds like shit, just making stuff, period. Like, if you know theory,
Right.
it makes songwriting so much easier. And Dylan knows it way better than I do, but, like, in my own experience, I remember I'm sitting in my room, I'm trying to write a song. It's like, man, none of this shit is working. Like, I'm trying stuff, and I'm like, I can't think of anything. And then, you're over here with these crazy, like, theory-based chord progressions. I'm like, how the fuck does he come
But
up
even
with
with
this stuff?
like the circle of fifths, do you like fuck with the circle of fifths?
I honestly don't use it too much. as
Fuck
a
with that
tool.
shit heavy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I'm a piano person.
Oh yeah. could be.
I mean, I know pianists are the theory nerds. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really used it too much. I mean, when
fuck
you
with
when
it
you
sometime and just like literally take it and just be like, do this, and this, and then make a
make
song out
something.
of it. And like you'll be like, I just made like 10 songs in 5 minutes.
once you get the the morgasm, that's the music orgasm.
The morgasm.
That's what I call it.
Morgasm
Because I'll be playing on
2025.
piano and I'll do like some cool shit, and then I don't know. It just feels right, and I'll be like, I can name it.
Right.
I mean, when you can name it, that's where you're really like hyped up, and you're like, holy shit! I just
Or when you
invented
start
something.
writing things that just like you don't even know what's coming next, but then shit comes and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
and
that
you like
was
have
me,
a melody
you know?
for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, holy shit! I just wrote the next hit, and then next morning you wake up and it's like, oh, why did I write that?
Oh, you got it.
If you even remember.
No,
If you remember
voice
exactly.
memos. Like I don't know if you use voice
Oh,
memos.
yeah.
Voice memos on your phone. Like I can't even tell you how many times I'm in my car and I'll just be like, doop 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 doop. Yeah. And then when I listen back, I'm like, nope, that does not make sense. I'm like, but every once in a while it will.
Writing in like the shower. I mean, I know like a lot of the lyrics of this song that I wrote came from me in the shower and me like driving. I don't even know what it was. It was just this motivation. Like
I know exactly
I would
what
write
it is.
a
It's
lot
'cause
in the
those are
darkness.
times when you have a chance to free, your mind gets a little bit of a chance to wander. Because like when you're in the shower, you have one thing, you're cleaning. When you're driving, you have one thing, you're driving.
Driving, yeah.
And let your mind wander. And that's
This-
when the shit just starts coming in.
This is gonna sound weird.
I'm
I
here
get-
for it.
Like it's probably gonna be like sound like so like conventional, but to me it's weird. I always get like inspiration for like writing songs when I'm working out at the gym, like in the middle of a rep, even if it's like, oh my god, I remember for a song I wrote, not disclosing it here. I gotta make sure it's not shit first. I was in the middle of deadlifting, and then just like this like the lyrics came to my head. I'm like, I gotta write this down.
Yeah.
I had a whole moment forgetting that I'm deadlifting like 240, 250.
Yeah.
So my mind's like, oh yeah,
Humble
my
brag.
body's just screaming at me.
It happens to me at work, actually.
That's
I'll be at work and I'll think of stuff. Like, cause I work at a Starbucks, but we get like no business, so I'm just not busy. So I'm just sitting there, and I have like nothing to do, and sometimes on my downtime I'm just like I'll like just start like humming, and I'm like, wait, this is kind of fire. I'm like I gotta write this shit down. And it's like, I don't know. That's actually surprisingly where a lot of like the recent stuff that I made like has come from. Was I'm just bored at work, and so I just thought of something. But
Yeah.
That's actually that's a real good one, because I still work at Target. So walking around, actually, I mean, a lot of this song is tied to me working at Target. Interesting enough. But I would just walk around and these lyrics would come into my head. And I'm like, oh, I gotta write that down. I'll like type it into my notes on my phone.
All the
and
notes app is so you gotta have it.
OP.
I could not live
see,
without it.
because they use the Notes app. I just have a rickety old notebook.
That-
I have
yeah.
a rickety old notebook that I haven't used since like 5th grade, and I just put all my songs in
same.
it.
I go like I have to like write it out,
Exactly.
like because again I'm old and like typing just takes me too long.
And it's like, I feel like that goes for a lot of the shit I do, because like, oh my god, it's like I feel like it's gotten to the point where it's like certain words used now, like certain slang. Don't ask me what the fuck it means. Don't ask me what it means. Ask them what it means. I have no idea. I remember my cousin said, like, typed out SYBAU to me. I don't know what that means. I had to look at him, I'm like,
Shut your
that
bitch ass
dick.
up.
That dick. Like,
It's so funny.
oh my god.
That is
It's
funny.
funny. I think it's also important to add that me, Makai, and Alex, we all went to high school together.
Yes.
Right.
I don't think I added that at the beginning. But yeah, no, we all went to high school together and
It's fun.
collaborated a lot through mostly our junior and senior years, because those are the time that's like 16 to 18 years old.
Yeah.
So that's the time. I mean, I'm 18, so
What's funny about it though is that, yeah, oh yeah. What's funny about it though is I feel like initially, like, I did stuff with Makai because we were in choir together, and we also, I mean, we were just friends. Like, we would like hang out and jam sometimes. But then, like, Dylan and I would do stuff together, but we didn't really like collaborate as like a trio until this song. I mean, I had helped you guys with like figuring out like lights for the talent show, but that was like about it. But even though like we all went to high school together and we were all like interacting, I feel like we didn't really start doing stuff as a group until like late senior year, something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah,
when the boat was sailing. But we all stayed close, so
yeah.
that's also good to add.
also
What was I gonna just add? Yeah, because we were like the COVID year, our freshman year
Oh my
for
god.
us.
Oh right.
So we couldn't really talk to too many people.
Right.
I didn't really talk to too many people, and then sophomore year was like that first year of high school for me. So I was just messing around a lot, and I was still playing lacrosse. Like, I didn't take music seriously yet. I was still playing lacrosse, and then I had this injury that really set me back a ton. But that gave me a lot of time to work on music and kind of reevaluate my life. That was like a turning point where I was just like, I'm not gonna do what I've been doing for my whole life. Like I was trying to fit in and be like the other kids and play sports and stuff like that. It just wasn't me. And even in that moment for my whole life, I just knew it wasn't me. And on my free time, it would be more of like the arts and creating. I've always been creating my entire life, recording videos. That was like more elementary into middle school. I was like making videos. Right, actually, elementary school, I was writing a lot of like books and stuff. I wrote so much. Middle school was like filming videos. And then high school was like the musical time, and that's kind of where I'm still at right now. And that takes everything together that I like. And music is the way where you can do all that stuff. You can write, you can film, you can take pictures,
Absolutely.
and write music. And the music can describe all of that, and more powerful than spoken words a lot of the time. So that's what's really cool about doing this.
I think we should hear a song. I know you brought some acoustic guitars, and we were going to hear the song live here in the Dazzle Den. So I guess tell me a little bit about the song before we play it.
Yeah, I think I'll have Alex and I and Makai and, well, actually all of us
Y'all
will
go
definitely
first.
describe it. I mean, it's a song that started with, this was almost 2 years ago now in July. My buddy sent me a chord progression, and then that was that first riff that you're going to hear in the song. We're playing it differently, but the studio recording was that riff that he sent me, and we came in all together, me and two other of my friends, one from high school, and then one I met recently at the time, so this is like 2023. We jammed on it, and after that, I was like, whoa, I really like this. Like, feels like something I've never felt with writing before. And then those first lyrics, so the first lyrics are, give me a second while I take the time to get the lighting right. Those are the first lyrics that came out when I first jammed on it. And then the chorus came out as well, those first lyrics as well. Why I think it'd take a day to change. Like, those were 2 years ago, and then the lyrics were finished in December of 2024. So that was like 6 months ago now, or 6-7 months ago, I think.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how this song took almost like 2 years to fully get down and kind of marinate in a way.
Right.
But what it's about 2 or 3 different things. It's kind of how distance creates obsession. And when, like, it was a time in my life where everything was new. Like, I got my license, I got a new car. I was seeing places I never, like, driven before, meeting a lot of new people, listening to a lot of good music. So everything was, like, dopamine was at, like, an all-time high. So when you have that and you have, like, your time to reflect at night, like in the shower or, like, driving and stuff, like, it all kind of settles, and you just get this, like, load of motivation and inspiration. That's more of the word I was looking for, to write whatever was going on at the time. Because at the time I was writing it about, like, the summer I was in, and then as time went on, it was like fall and then winter. I was writing a bunch until it was for my first year of college, and I really realized that I was still in the time period I was writing it about. That's something I've never, like, realized before. So I kind of took that and made some content about it, and really let the lyrics marinate. But that's, like, the main meaning of it, how distance creates obsession, and you obsess over, it could be somebody or something that, you know, it's like you get, like, a hint of it. You can't really be obsessed with something that is always around. You know what I mean? That obsession's created. And I think On Hold is pretty self-explanatory of what the song is. Like, I'm holding onto a phone, I'm, like, waiting. You're waiting. Yeah. And it's also change. Like, the song is a lot about change as well. And thinking that it doesn't take a day to change. It's collectively, like, to change yourself, and it takes a lot of time.
Right.
Yeah.
And mending.
I think at its core, it's really just about, like, learning to. There's a lot of, you know, message in there about moving on as well. How it's important, you know. You can't live a life on hold. It's one of the lyrics. It's right. To grow and change and learn and develop as a human being, you have to learn to move on and learn from the experiences that you've had, but take those experiences and apply them. And I feel like that was also, I think, the fact that it took 2 years. You were going through it as you were writing it, and so it's very much reflected in the song. But I think it's so interesting.
Alex I'm gonna interrupt you for a second.
Yeah,
but
you're
Alex has, because he was waiting for the song, because I was told it's about to come. Like, it took so long for me to get it, like, all recorded. Like, it's a whole story. But once it was, like, actually recording, and he saw the process, which he'll probably talk about that in a second here. It was kind of like, whoa, like, he's actually doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you can add on that.
Yeah. No, it was really crazy, because I mean I remember we were in the studio. And we were sitting there you showed me the recording, the rough recording for the first time. And I'm just like, holy shit, this is happening. Like, we've been talking about this for, like, a year, and it's actually fucking happening. Like, this is so crazy. It's not just, like, an idea anymore. But yeah, no, I guess it's really just, it's a song about learning to grow emotionally, and, like, just take what you've learned in the experiences you've been through and just, like, apply them and moving on, you know?
Yeah, don't change for anybody. Right. That's the big part.
All right. Well, let's check out On Hold, Dew Point, and then we'll be right back to wrap it up.
So give me a second while I take the time to get the lighting right. It's been too long since I felt this feeling. Let's make it last all night. And there must be something in your eyes, or maybe in the way that you dress. Oh darling, there's no need to fantasize, so just dim the lights and spare me all the rest. And why did I think that it'd take a day to change?
Just trying to be a better man for the love that you've made.
You'll find we never found an end to it all.
She said you keep holding on.
I should be letting go. 'Cause every time I pick up the phone, it goes straight to the tone. Can't live a life on hold. You gave me a reason and now I've gone too far. All my riches just to have you near. You're so deceiving the way that you sing and you dance. I mean it most sincere. And if you gave me just one more chance, maybe I could change your mind.
Who am I kidding, baby?
Just don't make me wait until Friday night. And why did I think that it'd take a day to change?
Just trying to be a better man for the love that you made. And before you find somebody new, for you I once stood tall, but now I fall from the fading memory of you, girl. 'Cause that's what you were, just a blur. But in a few months' time, girl, you became my world. I once stood tall, but now I fall from the very memory of you, girl. You got me down on my knees. Now I just feel weak to the thoughts and the voices and the weight of the world, and it just goes over and over and over and over, over and over again. Yeah. Should I wait? Took my hands out my pockets. It's much too late. So forget with one last kiss, 'cause it wasn't lust, but bliss. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People come and people go. Can't live a life on hold.
All right, that was On Hold, Dew Point, live here in the Dazzle Den. And I want to thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to come up here and do this. And before we go, I want to give you a chance to say what I refer to as your gratitude. So, Max, we'll start with you.
Hi. I'm thankful for and just grateful. Thanks for you guys. Wouldn't make this song without these guys. And thanks to my girlfriend and other friends. And check out my other band, Sun in Hand. Yeah.
I'd like to thank my friends here. I'd like to thank Dylan, Alex, and Max. I would like to thank my mom, because I really wouldn't be able to do any of this without her. I'd also like to thank Michael Jackson and Josh Groban. And yeah, that's it. That's it.
Man, I want to thank my dad. He got me into the photography stuff. That's his thing. And my girlfriend, because she supports me with all the creative stuff. And Makai, Dylan, Max, for bringing me on board and letting me be a part of this, because it was really, really, really fucking cool. So yeah.
Of course, I'm just really grateful to have had that space to really, it's space nurtured for me to write this song. So thank you, my mom, my dad, both my brothers, and honestly the people that I wrote this song around, and the people the listeners as well. As thank you Alex, Makai, Max, Sebastian as well. He played drums on here. But also thank you to Matty Healy, who's a big inspiration throughout writing this song. He's from the 1975. But this is really that was really it. So I'm just really grateful and thankful for all the people who worked on this song with me to really make it arrive, because it took 2 years and I didn't know when it was going to be. So very grateful for that.
And thank you for having us. This was
Thank you, Andy. Thank you so much.
No problem. All right, so they are Dew Point. I am Andy Scullin. This is Unsigned518. I'll see you on the road. Unsigned518 is produced and hosted by me, Andy Scullin. New episodes are available every week wherever you stream podcasts. If you would like to help support the show, please like and subscribe wherever you are listening. Or you could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Unsigned518. If you would like to advertise on the show, send me an email at unsigned518@gmail.com. And to be a guest on the show, reach out to me through Instagram at unsigned518. Take care of one another, and I'll see you next week.